Sure.
Sure. It's
I didn't tell next another.
so like I've been thinking once
How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. Let's talk about the fact that we are only left with a few hours. We are only left with a few hours until CPI, right? And I'm still looking at price being bullish. For one certain reason, I haven't had what do you call this thing? I haven't had like a proper setup in a very long time. Since Monday until even now, I haven't had like a proper setup, and I feel so I don't know whether it's the right term, but I feel discombobulated. Hey, what's going on? I feel a little bit discombobulated because I'm just kidding. I don't know what discombobulated me, but I feel a little bit not well because of people who are in the premium signal, because they're looking forward to be having a setup all the time, to be honest. But currently from my side, I haven't really I didn't have it well this week. It's like all the trades that I've gotten were always scalp trades, and I haven't really felt that much good about that. And it's like we would go into profits and then the next thing break even, poof, out. So I don't like those kind of trades, and I haven't been happy about it. So I need to really just look into the facts that I need to be having a setup to trade, and my intentions now, to be honest, is to trade the initial movement on CPI. I quietly know that most of the time I do actually I look forward to be actually trading I look to be trading what do you call this thing? So as I was still mentioning, I haven't had a proper setup since Monday. You can imagine, since Monday, no setup, no clear direction as to where is price going, nothing from my side, only scalp trades. It was always scalp trades for the whole week. I haven't really had a much clearer direction. I haven't enjoyed trading this week. It has been just a mess. It has been just a mess, and I ain't gonna play about the fact that that was a messed up week for me to trade. But I'm just gonna be honest with you right now. I have a locked-in trade on. On gold right now. Got lot size 3, 1.9, I think 1.9.1, and I'm just holding a trade right now on that account, a specific account, and I'm just going to be holding the trade if possible on gold. I'm looking forward for gold to actually be bullish during the CPI news event. Quietly, certainly I am not gonna be exact about whether I did go through the what do you call these things. I didn't go through the what do you call this thing? I didn't read any fundamentals for this week. I haven't really read anything. So I'm just definitely just on the part of just holding a trade out of proportion, because of I was just looking at other principles of how I trade and looking as to where is gold really pushing towards. And to be honest, I have this current high right here. I have this current high as an indecisive high to be used, so I am quietly certain that somehow this high, I shouldn't be using it as any kind of reference to be drawing any trend line. But currently I'm just looking forward to be holding the trade into CPI. I'm not even quite sure if the price will definitely respect the buys or not, but I'm certainly willing to take one risk just this one day, and just hopefully I can actually just use that to pass another funded challenge. Currently I only have 2 funded challenges that I passed. Now I'm going for the third one, so hopefully I can hold this trade and just pass the third funded challenge account, and then I can have at least 3 funded accounts that I can be trading on starting from Tuesday or Monday, just around those days. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to be taking a risk to buy gold during CPI. I'm not sure about it, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't read anything structure wise. I'm not that too confident about it, because you all can see definitely that we do have price actually resting on some consolidation part. So we're currently just sitting on a consolidation, a very long consolidation. Price has been just sitting around this price. Obviously the good part was that we did actually manage to drop below this key areas that I had for the past previous week. We did have this area because gold was resting above these prices, but at least we got lucky enough before on Monday, I believe it was on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday price did actually break below. So I'm just taking that as a reflection to say possibly we could be looking at a weekly rejection, and not just focusing on the daily but just focusing on a weekly rejection. So we may be looking at a weekly rejection. If you look at the weekly time frame, that's what I'm actually just looking at to say possibly we may be looking at a solid price rejection. And if price does actually reject accordingly, then not only will our targets be not only will we be just looking at price just rejecting just and ending the trade exactly after CPI, but I'm also just gonna be looking at price rejection up until those areas. It has been sitting as a main target that I'm still focusing on, which is 2670. So that's the main target that I'm still looking forward to actually go to in terms of gold. But yeah, one of the other confluences that I really wanted to check was Euro AUD, because I best believe that when looking into Euro AUD, there's quite so much clear direction from that side. But honestly, ever since NFP, I think it has also been it was actually acting up. If we go look at Euro AUD as well, it has been acting up, to be quite honest. We did reach those target areas that we were actually intending to focus on NFP, and I did mention this key points to say since we were looking at price actually pushing to those areas, then that gave us a clue as to what to look for in NFP, which was sales, which came out good. So currently, just looking at how price is sitting or how price is resting, it's just too unclear for me to be actually exact as to where is price heading for Euro AUD, so that I can be able to trade this what do you call these things, so that I can be able to trade gold or AUDSD if possible. So that's what I've actually been just looking at, and yeah, it's quite a tricky one, because looking at that key area there, it broke out of the entire bearish move. So if we had another trend, not a trend as a specific way of you saying how do I put that, me just drawing that trend line is not for trading purposes, it's just to identify a trend and it just ends there. So just looking at this trend specifically, the entire trend from the recent highest prices, which is around there, just looking at this entire trend, we can definitely see that we did actually manage to break out of the entire trend from these key areas around there. So that's also another thing that I'm quite too certain about, to see what is actually price saying to us from these areas, and hopefully it gives us some clear direction as to where will actually be gold going, especially for AUDUSD. I think, not even, let me not say I think, no. I'm going to put it in a very simple term. I'm going to be as much as I'd love to see gold, as much as I'd love to see gold, what's doing this? As much as I'd love to see gold buying, but I think it's my turn to just close the trade, which is also sad. I didn't happen to close the trade. That's pure sad, pure madness, man. So I closed the trade. As you can see, there's no running trade, and I know I'm gonna swallow myself. I definitely know I'm gonna swallow myself. But I did close the trade. It doesn't really matter anymore. But the reason why I'd say why I closed that is because of I'm considering this part. I'm considering AUDUSD as we speak. I may be right with direction on gold for now. I'm not even quite sure. I told you I'm not as confident about the trade as to will it really go and reach that, because of looking at the daily rejection or anything like that. But let's just quickly just do a proper analysis and just tap in and just really think about everything in the right way and see where will gold go. Not even gold, AUDUSD first, then we can take it to the next. So looking at Euro AUD, as I did mention, I didn't really have any beautiful trade this week, and I haven't really had the best trades this week at all. So I'm really just trying to be in my head right now and not do anything fucked up. But now looking at this Euro AUD, we see that we actually managed to break out of the entire bearish movement. So we're currently in a bullish movement because we did manage to actually break out. So for the fact that we actually broke out since NFP, right? So the fact that we broke out, and just quickly just looking at how price is looking at Euro AUD, this is going to help us look at into what's going on in AUDUSD, and we can take that as a correlation to trade Euro USD, GBP USD, and gold possibly. So what I'm going to mention right now is that since we see that we managed to break out of the entire bearish movement, and then we are now actually looking into we are looking in an entire bullish movement right now. So it means that not only are we focusing on not only did we just manage to reach those targets that we were focusing on Euro AUD, but now we can entirely say that the entire actual target for the bullish push on Euro AUD would be this, considering the major key high of this thing would be the highest price, which we could possibly just take it as this one, and then we take it to the lowest price. Lowest price is right there. We also reached the 50% area, which is a good key price to focus on. According to that, the retrace has perfectly okay. So from that, I would still say that the chances are that we may be still looking for a push until the 61.8 level, or even higher to the 71.8, right? So those are the possible TPs with the possible targets that we can also just look into on Euro AUD, meaning that we're still looking at Euro AUD being bullish at this point, and we can somehow maybe take this as a form of like a continuation corrective market. So if this is a continuation corrective market, it means that we are looking forward for price actually giving us a continuation entry somewhere around those areas, and then possibly then that would be a straight nice push to the upside on Euro AUD. So for the fact that from my side I'm still mentioning this to say that possibly we may be looking at Euro AUD push to the upside, right? So for the fact that we're looking at Euro AUD push to the upside, means that we can do what? It means that the fact that we're looking at Euro AUD push to the upside, continuation of price, then we can go to AUD USD. Look at AUD USD. Looking at AUD USD, we're still looking at a drop from NFP key area. If you were here for during NFP, you saw that I had this set up since NFP, and then it means that on AUD USD we're still looking at a push to downside. Which price are we focusing on? We're focusing on this area right here. So not even just that area, this area, this one, this one. So that's our last target area that we're looking into on AUD USD. That's our last main target. So for the fact that we're also targeting those areas, meaning that we're looking at a continuation from this area, so we're going to consider this whole part as a continuation as well. We're going to be looking at this as continuation as well. So it means that from my side is to say, once price also does what? Once price also does break below, just quickly go in with it. But what I'm gonna do right now from my side, I'm gonna take a trade on AUD USD. I quite certainly can say we do have some key points or some key areas that we can look into as for entries, but yeah, we can take a look at that as a point of entry. If possible, we can use that as a point of entry by any means, but I'm also just gonna be looking at continuation to the downside. That could be a possible entry point. That could be a possible entry point, but that could also be a possible continuation price. I'm just in terms of like just maybe trying to lock in as possible. We're just gonna be pushing AUD USD to the downside. Today I'm not gonna be telling you, I'm not gonna be looking for a setup right after CPI. I'm going to be trading the initial movement. So right now I'm gonna enter a trade on AUD USD. AUD USD, I'm taking my first trade there on AUD USD. It doesn't matter. So as I said, I'm using this trade. I want to pass euro a funded challenge. So let's take it 15. I entered 15 lot size, and I'm complementing it with another 2 point something lot size, and then I'm taking my last lot with 1. So I currently have 1 2 3, which is, I have like 18 lots. So I have a total of 18 lots locked in. So I have exactly 18 lots. I currently took my sales, and I'm just gonna be holding those. I want to actually hold those trades to pass the challenge if possible. If I can pass the challenge, then I'd be done. My aim is to pass the challenge, nothing more, nothing less. But I'm taking those sales because of Euro AUD. Looking at the fact that Euro AUD broke out, and looking at the fact that Euro AUD broke out, I'm taking that as an advantage. So I can fail. Oh shit, my laptop is about to die. Oh, unfortunately my laptop, oh god damn. And is electricity coming back? We are having a problem. We are having a problem, The problem is we are having a problem. The problem that we are having right now is that my laptop is about to die. and once my laptop is dead, I'd have to wait another hour to go live, because there's no electricity at this point. Load shedding, South Africa. So welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Welcome. So I'm currently just holding those trades. So you can see right there how many minutes are we left with. 16 minutes. So by any time necessary, this thing can just poof and just dead. And I don't know whether I'm gonna pass this challenge or I'm gonna fail it, because the lot size that I've entered, I think even for it to come to these areas, if it does want to push to those areas, I don't think I would have already hit like the maximum daily drawdown, because I don't have to hit $1,000 daily drawdown. So if I hit the 1,000 daily drawdown, then I'm out. Like it's chai for me. So hopefully I can hold those trades, which is gonna be tough, which is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. So hopefully I can pass this challenge. What? That's crazy. Damn. So to pass, I don't need a lot. Can you imagine? Just to pass the challenge, AUD has to just reach here. Imagine, for me to pass the challenge, that's all I need. But to fail, to fail is gonna be tough. Let me see. To fail the entire challenge. I think if AUDUSD comes around two six seven 84, somewhere around here. So if AUDUSD comes here, I already failed the challenge. Imagine, I already failed the challenge. If AUDUSD comes here, I failed the challenge. Clearly done, like done and dusted. I would have failed the challenge. But if it does drop until right here, I pass the challenge. Lot sizes there are crazy. Hopefully I don't breach the account. But yeah, guys, I'm out of battery. So I think from here, electricity is going to come back at around an hour from now on. So meaning it's gonna come back at 2. So I'll only be starting my stream exactly at 2:15, meaning it's gonna be 15 minutes earlier than the actual event. So that's what's gonna be happening. But yeah, guys, let me just leave you guys right here. I'll come back after those hours. After an hour, my laptop is about to die. So stay blessed after an hour.